Hey everybody, Larry Lawton here. I got a good video for you today. Today's video is going to be about a guy who robbed 40 McDonald's. Yes, 40 McDonald's at the beginning of 2000. I was reading a little about a story about how intelligent he is. So I'm going to check this video out with you for the first time, and I'm going to see how intelligent he is. You know, I just had to say, I consider myself pretty intelligent criminal. Before I get started, please check me out on all our programs. Check my book out, Gangster Redemption. Check out the cigar. The cigar is the Crooked Diamond cigar. I love it. People love it. I will be smoking it as I do. And also, please check out mybookie.ag. Mybookie.ag is one of my sponsors. And what do? They give you a 50% match. Put up $50, get $75 to play. Easy as that. Check out some big games this week. You got a Jets game this week. You got the Jets game on Sunday night, and then you got a bunch of a Buffalo game Monday. You got a whole bunch of games, guys, on Sunday Night Football. Bet before the game, during the game, or bet a season bet at mybookie.ag. It helps us out. Go check it out. If you're going to do it anyway, might as well get free money. But always be responsible when you do that. All right, we're going to jump right into this video. I think this video is going to be a really good video. I love crime videos, and we're going to jump right in on this video. Okay, let's see how intelligent this guy really is.
Most thieves enter through doors or windows, but in today's story, we see a thief of a different kind, a thief who descends on his targets from above. The story of this thief will become stranger and stranger as we go through its events. Even when you think this story is over, you will be surprised that what remains is crazier and stranger than what has passed. So make sure you listen to it until the end. On May 20th, 2000,
23 years ago,
at around 5:30, employees at one of the McDonald's branches located in the city of Belmont, North Carolina, were preparing for a new day. They were preparing the place
McDonald's?
and the items inside the restaurant. But suddenly, a man armed with a rifle and wearing a mask appeared and calmly asked them to stay in their places.
That was weird.
The strange thing is that this thief did not enter the place through the door.
He said he robbed it with a rifle, but the guy was holding a pistol. So
was actually
I don't know what that deal was.
Roofman, because this thief always entered from above.
Pretty interesting. A guy goes through the roof. Now, that's not unheard of. Let me let you know that. So I knew criminal crews in prison who did that. So, and they would rob through the ceilings or rob through another store wall, something like that.
Until the employees came and began preparations for the new day. Then Roofman emerged from where he was hiding and calmly asked them to follow his instructions. And then the masked thief took the manager to open the safe inside the restaurant. The thief took...
As you can see in the video, they're talking about a masked man, then you have a black guy doing this, they got a white guy. I think it's just part of the video. Obviously, it's not actual footage.
To warm up while they were inside until...
Now he has a guy with a rifle, and then he has a guy with a pistol.
Took their coats with them, and he locked them up, and he escaped with the money he had taken. This thief, known as Roofman, was actually one of America's most famous thieves at that time.
Now, you know, when you hear about what he's did, famous man, Roofman, polite, he put these guys in a freezer, let them take their jacket, gotta like that. And he also is not violent to anybody. I got to give him a lot of credit there.
Although the police did not know his identity, the way he carried out all his operations was almost the same, which led them to give him the...
That's called an MO, and that's how the FBI got me. They knew my MO, which is modus operandi. What that means is you do the crime the same way. They might not know who you are, but they know how you do it. And the same thing with him. And then the police flood an area. That's how they got me.
And knowledgeable about everything, which means he planned his operations professionally. And at the same time,
total pro.
All the witnesses described him as being friendly and gentle with them. According to estimates, he stole from more than 40 McDonald's branches in 3 years across various states. As we mentioned, Roofman was very smart,
states,
which left the police baffled and unable.
Very smart, but that's Hobbs Act. They could get him for Hobbs Act. Hobbs Act is interfering with interstate commerce, and the reason they could do that is because McDonald's buys its French fries from Idaho, interfering with interstate commerce. That's how they got me.
But this time he made a mistake. He didn't close the door of the cooling room correctly, or maybe one of the employees had a spare key. Either way, the employees managed to get out of the freezer quickly and immediately called the police.
After 40 robberies, gets caught.
Roofman
You will get caught. I was over 20.
and threw away his rifle and the bag he was carrying. After the police questioned him, they found that his real name is Jeffrey Allen Manchester. Jeffrey grew up in the suburbs of California, and when he turned 18, he joined the Army. Due to his
Obviously, this guy has a military background. That helps. Obviously, that's called organizational. I was organized because I'm a military man myself.
and demoted from an
You
active
learn
soldier
discipline
to a
as
reserve
well.
soldier,
So
and
none
this
of this is a
apparently
surprise to
was
me.
pride. In 1997, he began his career in robberies, and he continued with these operations for 3 years until he was arrested in 2000.
He goes for 3 years. I went for, since 1989 to 1996, 7 years.
And then reappearing
He
in
did
another state.
40 robberies. I did 23 or
But after
24.
investigation, they understand that
We
Jeffrey's
kind of on the same level of robbing. Obviously, I robbed a lot more money. I didn't want to rob McDonald's.
because during these 3 years, Jeffrey was still considered a soldier, and sometimes the Army would move to other states to receive different types of training. Anyway, Jeffrey was tried and sentenced to 45 years in prison. He was
45.
shocked by the verdict.
45 years. Listen, the guy didn't harm anybody. Obviously, he's not doing it when there's customers there. There is people there. He is taking people and putting them in a food locker. I didn't do that. I tied them up, though, but I didn't hurt them. And he didn't either. And this guy doesn't seem that way. And he's a veteran. I don't see where they're giving him any kind of leeway because of his veteran status. Maybe he had PTSD. I don't know who this guy's lawyer was, but I'll tell you what, he wasn't too good.
Because he was only 27 years old at the time. However, he was sent to a prison in North Carolina called Brown Creek to serve his sentence. There, Jeffrey was the
27.
perfect prisoner for 4 years. He was well behaved, and he didn't cause any problems. And as we all know, prisoners who are well behaved and follow the rules may have their sentences reduced.
Well behaved,
But
inmate.
that wasn't Jeffrey's main goal. No matter what, he needed to get out of there.
Now, that is not true. That's not true. If you follow the rules and you're well behaved, you're going to get your sentence reduction. Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. 27, I was 34. A lot of similarities here, except for the type of crime and obviously the amount of money. Now the guy's smart. The guy's military. He gets no break for his military service as well. So I'm not seeing. And I can tell you right off the bat, it wasn't a federal charge because he's in a North Carolina prison, a state prison. You don't go to a state prison if it's a federal crime.
Sometimes, Jeffrey would hear the sound of a truck pulling into the prison's workshop. The vehicle would drop off some materials and items at the garage and then leave. For him, working in the workshop meant getting closer to the vehicle so he could use it to escape. So he petitioned the jail administration for a job in
He's
the workshop.
smart. This guy's gonna
Jeffrey's
escape.
good
You
behavior
watch.
and activities convinced the jail administration to grant him this request. As soon as he began working in the workshop,
Smart. I've seen guys do this as well.
truck's arrival timing.
They would get jobs wherever they want, maybe even just to look at a fence. I was on the East Yard in Atlanta,
Twice a week in the morning.
spot where people tried to escape.
Before leaving the prison, the guards unload the needed items from the truck. And in order to ensure that no inmates were hiding in the truck, the guards conduct an extensive search, which include opening all doors and the trunk and looking in every nook and cranny of the vehicle. There was no way for him to get away in the truck unless he vanished. He needed to deceive the guards' eyes. And one day, Jeffrey quickly went under the truck and took measurements of the iron support bars.
That is done in all facilities, and they call it a sally port. Actually, whenever a vehicle goes in and out of a facility, in the facility, where somebody could actually escape or whatever, it goes into a sally port. What that means is it goes into an area, a door closes, opens, the door goes in, the door closes behind it, it's in this secure spot. Then they inspect the vehicle. They'll inspect it, whatever. We're going to see how they inspect them. That's what they do in a sally port. And there's no way somebody can get in or out. Obviously, they're going to make sure the people aren't in the vehicles. They're gonna make sure that the guards have a brung. It's not only for people. It's for weapons. It's for stuff or contraband going into the prison as well. They'll check a whole entire system, because if they bring in stuff in, they don't know if somebody in that facility where they get the product and has the authorization to be in that facility knows somebody wants to bring something in, whether it's guns or keys or food or whatever it is.
Nook and cranny of the vehicle. There was no way for him to get away in the truck unless he vanished. He needed to deceive the guard's eyes. And one day, Jeffrey quickly went under the truck and took measurements of the iron support bars. Jeffrey started making a large
doable.
wooden panel that could be hung between the support bars.
If you're working in the area and they trust you after a little bit, you can duck away. You can do a few little things. Listen, guards get lazy. When they do something, same thing every time, they get lazy. I've seen that many times.
Once he had everything ready, Jeffrey waited for the best possible opportunity to execute his plan. On June 15th, 2004, the opportunity came. It was raining,
2004, I get arrested.
and the
I'm
guards
still
were
in prison
scheduled
myself.
to inspect the truck that day. So he knew that it was his chance,
Rain.
and that he must
Good
take
move.
advantage of the bad weather. He took the black panel and the pieces of cardboard, and as soon as the
Whenever
guards
there's
approached
bad
the
weather,
truck, he
people
hung
get
the panel
lazy. They
between
don't
the
want to be out in the
support
rain.
bars and lay
I mean,
down.
some of them probably didn't
Jeffrey
even
was
check
switching the
underneath the
suspended
They're
panel
showing how
to the
they're
support
checking.
bars. He
But
then
I don't
took
know
the
about
black
that.
cardboard pieces he had and placed one in front of him to cover his head and another behind him to cover his
This guy's smart. This guy laid underneath the truck, and he had to make sure that it won't bounce off. He had to make sure when the truck moves,
They were in a hurry.
it's not gonna the panel he put. It's not like he had time to bolt it
raining
down.
and the weather wasn't good.
He had to lay a board down somehow and then hold.
And then they took a stick
container.
with a mirror at the end to check underneath the truck. They didn't notice anything strange because the black color of the
A lot of facilities also have something for under the truck. It's actually a
In this way,
well
Jeffrey
under
stayed
it.
on the wooden
So the
boards
vehicle
till the
comes
truck moved
over the
away.
well, and there's a guard underneath the truck.
This made the
inspecting
Roofman
it.
the first prisoner
They
to
have
escape
that.
from
I've
Brown
seen it.
Street.
I've been in facilities. They had
The
that.
guards at the prison never expected this to happen, so they took some time until they discovered what was going on.
Now, him leaving the time of day is perfect because they do have a 4 o'clock count, and that's when they found out he was gone.
Locate Jeffrey.
But he had a lot of hours to get away.
The authorities thought that he might try to return to his hometown in California.
From California, that's the first place they're going to go, your hometown. Because you'd be surprised how many morons actually do
Jeffrey
that.
decided to stay in North Carolina, in a town near the prison. The town is called Charlotte and is only a few kilometers away from the
He
prison.
stays in the town right
Therefore,
where the
he
prison
chose
is,
to hide in a
couple
toy
miles
store.
away.
As soon as he entered the store, he looked like any other customer and began to think about where he could hide without being seen. The store was huge, and after searching, he found a large wooden
Big
display
Toys R
on
Us
the
are
wall
big.
with a small space behind it. No one could see him there unless they removed the wooden display. Jeffrey entered the small space and waited until the store closed. Then he went out and started his shopping.
Smart. Now he knows they're after him.
Needed,
So what does he do?
including
He
bed,
lays low
blankets,
in the areas. Now they think he's
children's
gone. They thought he beat the barrier. They
The
set up a
second thing he
perimeter,
needed to take
guards.
care of
Something
was
like this
the
happens. They have
surveillance
protocol.
cameras, so that he could
They
know
will
the
set up a
appropriate
perimeter
times to leave.
and hope the
Jeffrey
guy
was
didn't
able
break
to
that
break
perimeter.
into the manager's office as usual from the roof.
Wow.
And there he found all the surveillance camera systems and the employee schedule and began studying everything carefully.
Man,
He
this kid is
understood how the
smart.
surveillance system worked,
He goes
how to
into the
turn
office at
cameras on
night,
and off,
gets the security
the
systems.
angles of the shots, and all the details he needed. He then studied the employee schedule, knew their names, their working hours, and how the work was distributed among them.
Oh, this guy made
All
this
the
escape a
information he
job.
needed to live
But he's getting all this information. I don't know why. How long can you stay in one facility? You got to get out of there. Once the heat's down, he's got to go.
In his usual spot behind the wooden display window, and only came out at night after the store was closed. He knew the police
Now,
were
a guy like
patrolling
an
the
inmate
area and
is
looking
capable
for
of
him
doing that.
everywhere.
I'll tell you why.
So he
They
wasn't
used to
willing to take
be
any
in
risks.
solitary
He
confinement,
survived
or
by
they'd be
eating
in
the
small
children's food
spaces
sold in
and
the
able
store,
to
which
use
was
your
enough
mind.
to
Because it's
keep
your
his
mind.
life safe
What
without
would bother me in this one
He was in a
is
toy store.
what happens
where
if
he
they
had
change the
nothing to
display?
entertain himself. He played with
I mean,
remote
you know,
control cars
he's
and
behind this. I'd be worrying every
sometimes
day
he
somebody
played
walked
like
by as an employee.
Months passed, and he
Look at this
spent
guy.
more than
You see
4
this?
months in the
He's riding a
Toys
bike
R
and he's
Us
playing
store
with
without leaving.
car games
It
at
was
night.
like he was living in a prison, but he didn't want to break free until he had a solid strategy in
living
place.
in a prison.
However, the end of the year was approaching, and by that time, a store like Toys R Us would be crowded all the time. If Jeffrey remained here,
Oh, yeah.
he might put himself in danger of being found. Hence, he decided
Absolutely.
it was time to
Listen,
start
Toys
looking
R Us
for
is
new
a holiday
place.
store.
In fact,
It's kids.
the Toys R
They,
Us store.
they're definitely going to
is
change the
next to
display,
a
or you'd
huge
think they
electronics
would,
store
wouldn't you?
called Circuit City. However, the electronics store has been
I remember
evacuated
Circuit
and shut down.
I wonder if they're still around.
The store was completely empty from the inside, and there was a shared wall in the middle between it and Toys R Us. One night, Jeffrey climbed onto the roof of Toys R Us and walked until he reached the roof of the abandoned Circuit City building. He had stolen digging tools from the maintenance room in the Toys R Us store.
Wow,
He
this
used
guy
them
is
to create
all
a
over the
hole
place.
in the empty roof
Stealing
of
maintenance
Circuit
tools.
City and went inside the building.
Gets into
There
the
he
circus.
found the
Look at
perfect
this.
hiding place, a stairwell with an empty space underneath it, covered by light wooden panels painted to match the wall. He removed the panels and went into the space underneath. The space was small, dirty, and dark, but perfect for hiding. Jeffrey cleaned the place and then managed to provide it with electricity from the nearby Toys R Us store. He also installed ventilation and air conditioning, and he found a way to connect the two
Ventilation, air conditioning in a little cubby hole, and he gets the power from Toys R Us.
from the roof.
Are you kidding me?
Opened a hole in the wall of the main
Not only is this guy
which was
smart,
adjacent to Circuit City.
I'm wondering why he's doing all this and not getting the hell out of here.
Through
If
this
he's this
hole,
smart,
he connected
get out
the
of North
hiding
Carolina.
place under the stairs
Go to
from
West
Circuit
Virginia.
City to the Toys R Us.
Head west, head north, head south. Go to Florida where all the wackos go.
Anytime. The space he carved out for himself under the stairwell became his personal paradise. He had access to electricity, which allowed him to bring a bed, lighting, and a portable screen that he used as a
Bed,
monitor.
lighting,
In order to
screens,
spot the personal
monitors.
customers of the Toys
This
R
guy
Us
did it
in his
all.
hidden room,
If you're putting
he
this kind of
installed many
effort,
small cameras originally intended for monitoring.
this guy's very smart,
strategically
but
placed
dumb at the same time. He's like
Jeffrey
what do they call
created
those?
the perfect system to stay
You
out
know,
of sight
what,
and avoid
autistic
getting
or
caught
something? What do they
by
call those? A
offering
savant.
maximum freedom.
That's it. He's a savant.
However, after months of self-imposed isolation, he began to feel bored and lonely. Many months have passed.
Of course, he's
since
going
his first
crazy.
escape.
Isolation does that.
That the police
And
were
this
not
is a
actively
self-imposed
looking for
isolation.
him anymore.
At this
So he
point,
decided to go
he's
outside
totally
his
able to
room.
get the hell out of
But
town.
before that, he shaved his beard and cleaned up his appearance so that no one would identify him. It was the first time Jeffrey had been out in public since he entered the Toys R Us store, and he was very
Yeah, he shaves his beard, says nobody's looking for him anymore. Nobody in the world thinks he's where he is. Now, I get that. That's a smart move in the beginning, people. But it's not a smart move for the long haul.
Toys R Us. But instead of
Too many
taking toys,
people
he would
could
take cash.
find something
Then
small
he
and
discovered
catch
that
it.
the
Too
money
many
was
people.
locked in a strong safe in the manager's room, which meant that it would be an armed robbery. However, he was unarmed, and during his exploration of the city, he discovered the location of a weaponry shop. He went back to his room to get everything ready. At 2 a.m.,
Oh my God! Now this guy's gonna rob a weapons store.
made his
You know
way
what
to
that
the
is?
nearby
That
gun
brings
shop.
in the FBI
He
as
dug a
well.
hole in the store
Weapons are
like he
big,
often
big
does,
thing.
and stole 4 handguns. Then walked out of the shop and went back to his
All
hidden
he
lair.
stole was 4
On
handguns.
November
I bet they
28,
didn't even know they were robbed.
2004, in the early morning hours before any customers entered the Toys R Us store, Jeffrey wore his mask and took his gun, and he entered the store. As usual, he politely asked them to be quiet and lie down with their faces on the ground. Then he asked
Look
the
at this
manager
guy.
to open the safe
Put the-
and
now,
give
what
him
is that
all
picture?
the
They
money
got 2 guys
inside.
there. That was a
After
bad
taking the
picture,
money,
whatever they did.
he ran to the back of the store and opened the emergency door, which triggered the
This guy's really deceiving people. He's
However,
opening
he didn't
the
actually
emergency
leave through
door
that
so the
door.
alarm goes off. They
wanted
think
to
he went out
deceive
back.
and mislead them into thinking he had left. He then returned to his secret room in the store. The staff immediately called the police and told them that the thief had left through the emergency door. The police began searching the surrounding area, but didn't realize that the thief was hiding in the adjacent store. Meanwhile, Jeffrey was in his hidden room counting his loot, which amounted to around $15,000. He
You
waited
got
in his
15
hiding
grand.
place for a
You
few
got a few
days
guns.
until the search operation.
Time to go, buddy.
After
Jeffrey,
a few days,
time to
Jeffrey
go.
started going out daily, strolling around the town, and visiting public places and shops without any fear of being caught. He even started going to the church in the town regularly, where he met
Oh,
people.
come on.
and
This
friends,
kid, is this real?
including the church pastor himself.
You know, I got to
He
thank,
used to
first of
bring
all, I'm going to
stolen
thank the
goods
people
from
on
Toys
Discord.
R Us
They give us
as
this
gifts
kind of
for
stuff.
the orphans.
Is
He chose
this
to sue
real?
and named himself John Zara.
You
aiming to
gotta
start
be
a new
kidding
life
me.
With a new identity away from
Guy's
prison
going to
and his
church
criminal
out in the
past.
public in
He
the
frequently
town.
went to church and became an active member.
I mean,
One
you
day,
ever get stopped?
a volunteer
You ever
named
have a
Lee
run-in?
got
You
caught
anything?
on
You have a
something,
fist fight?
and the
Something
two of them
happened?
set
You
up a
never
time to
know.
meet and get to know each other better. However, Jeffrey told Lay that he was actually an agent in the American Intelligence Agency, and that he was on a mission. That he
Agent
couldn't
American
disclose
Intelligence.
any
Let
details
me tell you
about.
something. Women
This
are
was his
gullible.
excuse for not telling her where he
Women
lived or
are
giving her
stupid.
more information
What
about
did
his
Mickey
life.
Mouse say?
Jeffrey shared the same story with everyone he met through the church, and they all believed it, or at least didn't question it. For a while, Jeffrey enjoyed this routine, but eventually
Now he's
he
with this
became tired
Christian
of it. He
that is
realized he couldn't
blind.
keep
They
this
got a
up
guy who comes in. Nobody
Jeffrey
checks
knew
an
that he
ID.
had to examine
Obviously, he
the
doesn't have
place
fake ID.
and find a new way of living. However, before he left, he decided that he had to rob one last time. He planned to do the same thing he did in the first theft, but this time
He's actually
things didn't
robbing
go as he wanted.
to get money. He's a
His
smart
pride
guy.
made him make
This
a
guy is
stupid
really
mistake.
smart, people.
So the operation
No
wasn't
question
as
about that. I'm
effective
questioning that.
Like the first operation,
I'm
the
questioning
attack had to be
why.
in the morning once the store got open before the customers started getting in. He watched the employees through his screen, waiting for the opportune moment to surprise them. He
Boy, does
needed
he have
all
a
the
back end to a
employees to be
robbery,
in
huh?
one place so that he could threaten them collectively with his weapon. He kept watching until he saw the perfect moment, and then he entered the store carrying his weapon. He pointed the gun at the employees, but what he didn't notice was that there was an employee who was far from the others. As soon as he realized what was happening, he ran from the store.
Listen,
and Jeffrey
that's why I had multiple people
Due
on
to
my
the
robbery.
tension and rush,
Can't
he forgot
contain
to
that
open
many
the
people
emergency
alone.
door, and the alarm did not.
Somebody's gonna do something. You
When
didn't
the
see
police
something,
arrived,
and that's
the
exactly
employees
what
told
happened
them about
here.
this information and concluded that Jeffrey was still in the building. This time, the police
see
searched
that? He
the place
forgot to do
thoroughly,
one thing,
and when they
open the
reached
back
the
door.
maintenance room, they were able to find the hole that Jeffrey had dug between Wizard's shop and the abandoned city
wow.
sack store. They entered through the hole and began searching the abandoned store. After a thorough search, they were surprised to find Jeffrey's secret room and the things inside.
Ah,
But
they
Jeffrey
find the
was not
room.
there.
Look at this. Look at this, people.
Apparently,
These are real footage.
He
That's real
sensed
footage.
danger and fled the scene before the police could catch him. The police were immediately
Good
able
there.
to obtain Jeffrey's fingerprints, and they knew that he was the same man who had escaped from Brown Creek Prison, which was located near the town. The police immediately printed thousands of copies of Jeffrey's picture with his full name on it.
Sure, they put
and
a
distributed
ball.
them
Be on the
throughout
lookout
town.
for it.
After
And,
a short
ball
while,
it's called, be
the
on
people at
lookout.
the church recognized him and reported to the police that they knew him as
course,
John
everybody's
Zara.
gonna recognize. They got the
also
new
told
pictures
them
of him.
that this man had a girlfriend named Lay. The police went to Ellie's house and told her about the situation, informing her that her boyfriend was actually one of the most wanted men in all of America. She initially refused to believe the police, but after they showed her a newspaper article about Jeffrey Manchester's prison break, she
Come on, this girl cracked like a cheap vase.
She told them
You're gonna
she was
trust some
supposed to
broad
meet
like this?
Jeffrey at her place.
God didn't help her. And let me tell you something about God. The Bible, and nowhere in the Bible does it
The
say
authorities
telling your
had not
fellow man.
recognized him.
Let me tell you that.
He
I
intended
know
to
that.
visit his lover at her house
My
before
sister, the
his
biggest
fear.
Christian woman in the
He
world.
warned her that the
You know, rest in
intelligence
peace.
agency
She
had
passed
assigned
away.
him to a brand new mission
She
far
said,
away.
"Don't,
Although
nope,
Jeffrey
nowhere in
knew
that Bible,
there was a
Larry, does
risk
it say that
involved.
you should tell."
He
And
wanted to
I
see
wouldn't
her
tell.
and reassure
In
her
fact, I
that he
lied.
disappeared.
Got another
But
conviction
when
out of that.
Jeffrey
but-
arrived home, he rang the door.
Wow.
And he was surprised
come
to see
on,
the
Jeffrey.
police opening the door and surrounding
You know,
him
Jeffrey,
from all sides.
this pisses me off
He
on
was
this thing.
arrested,
It really does,
but
people.
before the police
How
took
does
him
this
away,
guy go
he asked
to a
them
girl's
to
house
speak to his
knowing
girlfriend.
how the heat is
He
on?
apologized to her for
I'll tell you
everything
what.
he had
What can I
done,
tell you?
expressed his love for her,
That
and
sex must
explained that his
be really,
criminal
really
past
good.
prevented him from starting a new life with her. She remained silent during that moment
Oh.
and did not respond to him. But later in an interview, she said that she did not hate him, but she just felt disappointed. In any case,
You
Jeffrey
can't trust
returned to
people. Listen,
prison after 7 months
you know,
of freedom.
you see the shirt I'm wearing,
This
people?
time, he was
We can keep a
sentenced
secret
to
if two are
47
dead.
years in a heavily guarded prison, which was much stronger than the
Oh
one
boy, he's not getting out
The
now.
sentence was very harsh. When we hear a story
Unbelievable.
like this from the perspective of a thief or a criminal, we may feel that he is the hero, and we may applaud him intentionally. But in the end, we must...
I don't want to hear about that. He feel he's a hero. Listen, does the guy deserve the sentence he got? Absolutely not. Not. This guy was super intelligent. I give him that. Super stupid. One, for not getting out of the area a lot earlier. For two, starting a life in the town that you left the prison at. I mean, what do you do if somebody in the old guards join that church? Then what? What happens if some new guard comes on, joins the church, and then they have a function? What happens then? I can't believe it, guys. I really can't. This one's got me a little. Now, guy got 47 years. This is 2004, maybe 5, when he gets his sentence. What happened to him? Put it in the comments. No, put in the comments what you think. Put it in the comments, but I'm going to look it up right now. What happened to this guy, and is he still in prison? Well, an update on Jeffrey Manchester, who is the rooftop robber or McDonald's robber. And if you look him up, had a wife, it says, had a wife, unconfirmed, and 2 children, unconfirmed. Obviously, he's doing that some way in the prison. Did use a rifle, and he was sentenced to 40 plus years. As of 2022, he was still incarcerated with a release date in the 2030s. So he could be released. What a shame. A 27-year-old, very smart man. Didn't hurt anybody, though. So I'm a little, I think the sentencing here was out of whack, personally. I really do. Smart, intelligent guy, ends up making stupid choices. I did it. We all do it. Mine really was just good police work. The FBI catching me. I can't, gotta give him all kudos. But he really had an opportunity to get away. And you know why they really want you, and they want to hound you, and they want to hammer you when they catch you? Because by escaping originally, they made the prison system of North Carolina look like idiots. And they don't like that. Make the government look like stupid, they're going to make you pay. We all know that. Well, everybody, that is an opinion of one of the smart ones. I'll tell you what, it's a very interesting video. I did enjoy it. Very smart guy, made bad choices at the end. Made bad choices to start robbing. Let's face that facts, guys. He shouldn't do that. And what money was he getting? You know, if you're that smart, get some good money. Can't knock that. Sorry, anybody's looking at me saying, Larry, you're reformed. Yeah, I'm reformed. But you tell me I'm going to make $20 million on a robbery tomorrow and I'm not getting caught, or I got a 90% chance of making it. Hey, what can I tell you? I'm real. Just don't do it with me. Read the shirt. Don't do it with me. Only kidding. All right, guys, have a great day. We're going to wish Jeffrey Manchester, and I'm going to wish him luck. So I hope you can see this video somehow. Good luck, Jeffrey. I'm sure you've thought about it your whole time in prison, why you didn't get the hell out of that area after X amount of time. Too smart to not have. All right, guys, be safe. See you next time. Give us a comment. Give us the likes. Please subscribe. But please comment because I want to answer them. Take care, everybody.